Al-Islam has been weaving traditional saris since he was 8. It's a skill handed to him from his grandfather and father. But he's worried the art of making these saris, known as Jamdani, is a dying trade.
In the past, we used to teach people how to weave the Jamdani design, but these days people don't want to learn. Other kinds of work are better paid. That's why the numbers of workers are decreasing.
Despite these concerns, Al-Islam and his brothers have expanded the family business over the years. They now own 12 small factories in the Naranganj district of Bangladesh. The Jamdani are made based on a technique that involves weaving a series of geometric patterns into a lightweight cotton fabric known as muslin, and they're exclusive to Bangladesh. Jamdani is Bangladesh's first and only item to be recognised as a geographical indication product like Roquefort cheese or Darjeeling tea.
It's an indication of its high quality, the traditional methods by which it's made and its historical connection with the country.
Al-Islam sells his saris to shops across Bangladesh and receives 12 to 15% of the sale price. For an item like this, which costs $700, he gets around $100. Arong, one of the retailers that stocks his saris, employs 65,000 artists and now wants to start selling its goods overseas. But like Al-Islam, the management is worried there are not enough traditional artisans and that unless they increase capacity, foreign demands may not be met. They're also concerned about competition from cheaper products made in India.
The handicraft product is always a bit, difficult and a little bit of costly. Direct human touch is there, so you can always have to compete with the machine-made products. So that is also a big challenge.
Bangladesh's government has started a number of initiatives to keep its handicrafts tradition alive. At this state-run design centre, artisans learn the art of block printing. Ruxana Jaman sells handmade clothes from home. She's attending this course because she can't afford private lessons.
I would like to add something new in my business. That's why I have come here to learn some designing. They have taught me what is about color, about chemicals, about design.
The Bangladesh Small and Cottage Industries Corporation is a government body responsible for overseeing the handicrafts industry.
We are sincere about ensuring the branding. We will give them a special mark like hologram sticker, whatever it is, so that the quality is ensured.
For the artisans who choose to remain in the profession, it's more than just about earning an income. It's also about keeping Bangladesh's rich heritage alive. Shamim Chowdhury, TRT World, Naranganj, Bangladesh.
And Shamim joins us now in the studio for more. Shamim, so you mentioned there in your report that Bangladesh is facing competition from India, but surely the South Asian market is huge, isn't it? Surely there's room for all of these players.
The challenge is, Azar, that handmade goods take a whole lot longer to produce than machine-made goods, especially in the case of saris. You're absolutely right. So many women wear saris in South Asia, but 6 yards of fabric, if you're going to make it by hand, it's going to take a very, very long time, whereas a machine can churn out hundreds and hundreds in that time. So, of course, that is a major challenge, especially given that, as I mentioned in my report, the number of artisans are limited. There's a real shortage of artisans, so it's very difficult for Bangladesh to kind of keep up with machine-made products. That's the big challenge. The other thing is a lot of handicrafts, handmade goods, aren't really for general use. They're not for repeated use. So you might buy a handmade sari, but maybe you'll wear it twice in a year to a wedding or something, or you might buy... How many hand-embroidered bed sheets are you going to buy? So the market is always going to be quite limited compared to other items that are mass-produced for regular use.
The answer in my particular case is probably zero. But look, there's something of an intellectual property dispute between India and Bangladesh over these saris, isn't it, as to who actually came up with them first, right?
Exactly. Well, it has been resolved now, but going back about 10 years or so, India did register Jamdani, which is a very specific kind of weave on a very specific cotton material that's made in Bangladesh. It's the top of the report where we, in my report, where we go into kind of the details of exactly how it's made. Now, India does make them. It claimed the geographical indicator was in one of its provinces, but it was later deemed that geographically, commercially, and even ecologically, in terms of the amount of water in the soil needed to produce this specific type of cotton could only come from Dhaka and the surrounding areas. So the GI indicator, the geographical indicator, now does belong to Bangladesh. But yes, there was a bit of a dispute, shall we say, going back some years.
Fascinating stuff. Look, we've come to the end of your series from Bangladesh, and it's been a fascinating journey. What are your main takeaways from it all?
Well, undoubtedly, Bangladesh has come a very, very long way in the past 10, 15 years or so. Bear in mind, this was a country that was described as a basket case, and its GDP, its annual growth has exceeded India, Pakistan. GDP per capita has exceeded Pakistan. It is without doubt doing phenomenally well, and the government has to be credited to a certain extent for that, for infrastructure improvements, electricity, all the rest of it. But really, Azhar, what I'm going to take away from this whole experience is the people. I spoke to many people in the 11 days that I was traveling all around Bangladesh from all walks of life, and really it's their energy, their spirit, their resilience against so many obstacles, you know, this real desire to succeed and to carry on, and I really think the credit really goes to them.
Very finally, they still have a lot of challenges, including things like corruption. Are you satisfied that the government is doing enough to tackle corruption in particular?
I think a whole lot more could be done, absolutely. Corruption is an issue. It is a disincentive for foreign investors to come into Bangladesh. The corruption levels are still high. They've improved a little bit in Bangladesh, but a lot of work needs to be done on that. So, yes, there are many spaces for improvement.
We're going to have to leave it there. Shamim Chowdhury, thank you very much indeed.